Good afternoon, everyone. I can see that people are joining. That's good. We're on time. You're very welcome to be here today with us for this webinar about the NBS School Expertise, the newly launched initiative of NBS EduWORLD and the Scientix STEM School Label. My name is Chiara. I work at European SchoolNet, and I'm here today as a representative of NBS EduWORLD. And I'm here today with my colleague Diego, who hey Diego, who is going to who is representing Scientix and the STEM School Label initiative. We can have a quick look at the agenda for this first couple of minutes while everyone joins. So today we will be together for 1 hour. We will first delve into Scientix and the STEM School Label. And we will have a quick sneak peek into the STEM Discovery Campaign 2024. Then you will hear about NBS EduWORLD and the focus of this webinar, which is the NBS School Expertise, so this joint initiative. And we will go through the application procedure together step by step. Then we will have a Q&A session. So don't worry if you have any questions during the webinar, just please write them down in the chat. And at the end of the webinar, during this dedicated session, Diego and I will do our best to address all of your inquiries. And then, yeah, we can wrap up our discussion and conclude the webinar. Please remember that this webinar will be recorded, and you will then receive the recording, which will be published through Scientix channels and related online platforms. Before we start, please take a look at the signature list and read it carefully and fill it in so that you can allow us to send you a follow-up email with a feedback form and a recording of this event. We will post it again in the chat later during the meeting, but it will be good if you do it now, so it's done. And also the signature list will be open only during the event, so you should sign during this webinar. I will leave you a couple of minutes to sign, and then we can start. Okay, and yeah, as you can read in the chat, thank you, Diego, for reminding. If you have any technical difficulties and cannot see or hear during the webinar, please write a message in the chat so we can help you. And I hope everyone got the chance to sign in the signature list. If not, please do it. And we can start with Diego. Please, Diego, take control of the slides. And yeah, the floor is yours to talk to us about the Scientix STEM School Label.
Yes, hello. Well, as Chiara said, my name is Diego Fernandez. I'm representing the STEM School Label from Scientix. And I know because I have seen some of your names around that some of you are already working on the STEM School Label platform. So I don't know for you that are connected right now. If you can write in the chat if you are currently working on the platform, if you are already registered, if you already have a label, or even, I don't know, if you've been working on the platform, please let us know in the chat so we also know how is our audience right now. And well, to begin with, I want to ask you, what is STEM School Label? Well, firstly, let's find out. STEM, we're talking about STEM. That is the first word. So we could say that STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Then we're talking about school. So it's something related to the whole organization, not only for a teacher individually. And we are talking about a label. A label, we consider it as a badge, a kind of a medal. So then the STEM School Label is the recognition for schools that have proven that they can handle STEM education the right way, with quality. But it's not only about the recognition, right? We need to go a little bit further. So the objective of the STEM School Label is to provide schools with the necessary guidance and tools to engage not only students, but also teachers and also other actors such as universities, research centers, local business, the town halls, to engage all of them into STEM-related activities by developing an appropriate STEM strategy. Throughout this, we can create a network of schools that are interested in improving their STEM strategy. So this is basically the STEM School Label. But where does all this come from? Well, so at the beginning, the STEM School Label was a multi-stakeholder project that was funded by the Erasmus Plus program in 2017. And it was a joint initiative of European SchoolNet, our side, and 4 other stakeholders, Portugal, France, Serbia, and Lithuania. And as of 2021, all the STEM School Label activities continue just under Scientix. This project is basically based on this report that you can see on the screen that is called European STEM Schools Report. And for those who are watching the recording of this webinar, you can check the report following the QR code, or you can click on the link. If you live here, you can also find the report on the webpage. And well, this report basically says that a STEM school is defined as a school with a clear STEM strategy, characterized by 7 key elements and 21 criteria. Okay, so then before asking the experts, I would like to ask you, even though maybe now we don't have the ability to interact so much in this webinar, but what key elements, I would like you to reflect on this and to think about this, to do some brainstorming maybe in the chat. What key elements or criteria should we look for in order to say that a school STEM strategy is complete and is effective? So in other words, what characterizes a good STEM strategy? Well, so if we go back to the report, we could see that they define 7 key elements that are the ones that appear in the middle in blue, which are instruction, professionalization of staff, connections, assessment, school leadership and culture, school infrastructure, and curriculum implementation. These 7 key elements address a total of 21 criteria that are the ones that you see, those black dots, and all of them enrich a school's STEM strategy. And while not all of them are strictly necessary, they each contribute to the quality of the STEM education. So now let's see how our platform works. Where is it? Here, yes. So this is basically the general mind map of how to work on the STEM School Label platform. What do we need to do to achieve a label, basically? But I know maybe it may look a bit complicated, so we're going step by step. First step that you always need to do when you register in the platform on the internet is register. So go to stemschoollabel.eu and create your account. You can sign up as a teacher and create your school, your organization profile as well, and you join to that organization. Okay, what is next? Now you can, now that you're inside, you can explore and learn from all the content that is available in the platform and improve your school STEM strategy in order to get closer to the label. So here you will find the definition of every criteria. You will discover the scoring system in order to reach the label. You can follow some checklists that we prepare that will help you to take the steps towards the label as well. But you can also see other teachers' activities that they publish on the platform and on the gallery. You can also interact with these other teachers through the polls, the forum, the news. So after working on all of this, it's time for you to show everyone what do you do on your school. So this is the time to upload your school practice evidence and case studies. A school practice evidence is basically the proof that the activities that you are carrying on your school. They have to be supported by a file, a photograph, or a link to your school website, for example, and they are crucial for the self-assessment process. Case studies are basically the same. They are a description of an activity that you carried out on your school, but these case studies, they refer to activities that happened long time ago, and maybe you don't have a picture or you don't have a file to prove them, to share it as an evidence. So let me show you some examples of school practice evidences, or as we like to call them, SPEs. Okay, so in this example, there's an activity carried out by a primary school teacher who took their students to a park to do some research on local biodiversity, and then the students had to write everything on a portfolio and present it in front of the class. This is quite an interesting STEM activity, right? And it's related actually to some of the criteria that we saw before. So we can upload this activity to the web page. Perfect. We can upload it to the platform as an SPE. What do we need to do? Well, at the beginning, we will have to write a title. We write a small description, maybe like 1 or 2 paragraphs. We can attach this image, this file. For instance, this teacher decided to use a photograph of their students working on the park. And we also have to link this activity to the criteria that we mentioned before. So for instance, in this example, this activity is related to inquiry-based education. It's also related to working with local communities. It also refers to the continuous assessment, since they are mentioned in the portfolio. Let's see, for example, another example of another SPE that other teacher uploaded to the platform. Okay, so we have this secondary school teacher who organized a visit to the National Institute of Statistics, and they work with research experts on real-world data. Okay, this is also a quite complete STEM activities. So this teacher decided to upload this to the platform. Yes, he decided to give it a title. Okay, visit the National Institute of Statistics. Then she wrote a description, 1 or 2 paragraphs explaining the activity. She decided to link one video of their students working on the activity that was uploaded to a private channel in YouTube, and then she decided to link this activity to those criteria. Okay, highly qualified professionals with universities, high quality instruction materials, contextualization of STEM teaching. Okay, makes sense. Let's see the last example of an SPE. Okay, imagine in this case the principal of a high school and the teachers, they gather together to reflect about the STEM plan for the next academic year, and they decided to enroll in some online courses for teachers. Well, this is actually a really good example as well, because in order to improve your STEM strategy, teachers and school leaders, they also need to do an effort. So, well, in this case, the file that you attach to the SPE can be actually the PDF with all the conclusions that you get from from this gathering, right? So these kind of activities can also be uploaded as SPEs to prove that your school is working on improving the STEM education. So now that we have this clear, we can go back to the map, because now that we uploaded some SPEs, what is the next step? Well, we need the signed declaration from your principal approving your work in the platform. Once we have this document signed and uploaded in the platform, we can move on to the final exam. Let's say final exam, but it's basically submitting the self-assessment form. This form consists of 21 questions related to the 21 criteria that we mentioned before, And once it is submitted, you won't be able to change it until you get your grades back, your score. If you don't pass this final exam because your school is not ready yet to obtain the label, then you will receive a personalized action plan that will help you improve. And then after 3 months, your self-assessment form will reopen so you can try again, this time better prepare and try to get the label again. But what happens if you pass this exam, if you actually submit your self-assessment form and you get good results? Well, in this case, you will get the school label. That's it. So depending on your score on the self-assessment form, depending on the amount of school practice evidence that you uploaded to the web page, and if they got approved, or if they were super good and they got published, you get extra points. But also depending on your interactions in the platform, in the forum, then you will be able to get the competent label, which is the first one and easiest to get, the proficient label, which is much higher, and then the expert label. That means that you are actually working really hard on your strategy and you have an expertise on this STEM teaching, STEM education. So right now, for instance, as an example, there are, I don't know, hundreds of schools that got the competent label all over Europe and some of them outside Europe, but there are only 17 schools who made it to the expert label. So with this comparison, we can actually see that being among these 17 expert labels is a great achievement for schools. And if your school make it there, it's actually quite I don't know, quite to be proud of it. And so with this global idea, we can easier understand this map, right? This is in general terms, how the STEM School Label platform works and how you can do to get your label. However, why should every school join the platform? Well, not only for the recognition or the visibility of having that label there, but also to be a member of this community that is actively working to improve the STEM education worldwide. You can get inspired and get in contact with other teachers willing to collaborate. So I encourage everyone that is here in the chat and that is not registered yet in the page to go and join and give it a try. And moreover, for those of you who want to participate in the STEM Discovery campaign that is organized by Scientix, you can also use these activities, these SPEs that you uploaded on the STEM School Label platform to apply for an award of the STEM Discovery campaign. You have until the end of April, so you can also use the web page or the application for the phone and link these activities, these SPEs, and be eligible for one of the 13 awards that are being given this year. So, well, you can see more information about the STEM Discovery campaign on our webpage. But so basically, up to here, this is the STEM School Label. So I hope everything is clear. I know it's a lot of information. I just wanted to make a general approach to it. So you can get a little bit, for those who are not related to it, you can get the whole concept. But if you have any other idea, please leave it in the chat and we will answer your questions at the end of the session. Because now that we are familiar with the STEM School Label, let's see how we can connect this STEM with sustainability by integrating nature-based solutions in your classrooms. So here is where my colleague Chiara is taking the floor. The floor is yours. Are you here? Yes.
Of course. Thank you, Diego. Yes, indeed. So we will see together how we can link this amazing program, the STEM School Label, with commitment in sustainability in education. I hope you are following us so far. It's indeed a lot of information, but we will be happy to reply to all of your questions in case there are any later on. Now, before getting to the NBS School Expertise, I would like to tell you a few words about NBS EduWORLD, which launched this initiative together with the STEM School Label. so we know what we're talking about. So NBS EduWORLD is the Nature-Based Solutions Education Network, and it is a large-scale 3-year Horizon Europe project funded by the European Commission and coordinated by European SchoolNet. Now, the work of this project focuses mainly on producing NBS education materials, providing teacher training on NBS, conducting research, local implementations, community outreach. One of the local demonstrators of nature-based solutions that is part of this project is showed here in this lovely picture on the right side of the slide, which is the Almada municipality. In the picture, you can see that they are working on the restoration of some dunes on the coastal city of Almada in Portugal. And basically, in a nutshell, the goal of NBS EduWORLD is to integrate NBS in education on all educational levels. So from formal, non-formal, informal, and from primary to higher education. You can check the website by clicking here on the link that I put in the slide. Maybe explore it later in more detail. So when we talk about nature-based solutions, what are we talking about? Now, let's try to simplify a little bit the definition that the European Commission has created, has indicated for this term NBS. So nature-based solutions are solutions that are inspired and supported by nature. They should be affordable, provide several benefits on different levels. So not only environmental, but also social and economic, and help build climate resilience. They should bring more and more diverse features in different areas, so rural, urban, or coastal areas, use resources efficiently, be locally adapted, systemic, meaning they shouldn't be just one isolated case, and most importantly, they need to be beneficial for biodiversity. Now, this is a very broad and perhaps a bit complex way to put it, but to get an idea more concretely of what are nature-based solutions, we can look at some examples. So for instance, this is what some nature-based solutions in different areas might look like. We could have some coastal dune restoration, as we said before, or constructed wetlands in some rural or coastal areas, or we could have in urban environments the construction of green corridors or urban food forests, or green roofs, for example, green facades in buildings to help deal with heat waves, for example, in big cities. So this is, let's say, some of the most common examples of NBS, but there are many, many to explore. And NBS are very important because they can help address many challenges, which the European Commission has summarized into these 12 categories. So as you can see, they go from addressing specific issues, for example, water management, air quality, or land regeneration, biodiversity enhancement, to more, let's say, forward-looking issues, for example, the creation of new green jobs and the improvement of health and well-being in the community to ultimately build social justice and cohesion. Now, NBS are fundamental in education because they can contribute to improving, promoting, and education for environmental sustainability. Indeed, this has been mentioned as a priority by several EU policies in the last few years, like, for instance, the ones listed here. So the European Commission has called for better environmental sustainability in EU education and trainings. The EU Biodiversity Strategy for 2023 stated the need to improve and enhance awareness for biodiversity conservation, and UNESCO has urged all countries to make education for environmental sustainability as a core, a pivotal part of curricula by 2025. These are just a few, but It is really a hot topic right now. And we believe it's important to integrate NBS in education because NBS has proven to increase respect and concern for nature if introduced in the classroom since the very early stages of education. It also improves academic performance and well-being, and not only in students, but actually also in teachers with through reconnection with nature. And it can also reinforce a sense of place and belonging to a community that leads to take environmental action. It develops green competencies, and it's also suitable for testing innovative approaches and pedagogies. For example, like experiential learning, outdoor learning, the whole school approach, project-based learning, inquiry-based education, and so on and so forth. Therefore, to summarize, integrating NBS in the curriculum can allow us to create experiences that make students wonder, inquire on nature, and therefore develop a sense of empathy and curiosity for the environment that is fundamental for education, for sustainability, and ultimately to act responsibly towards the environment in the future. Now, in order to successfully grasp this concept of integrating NBS in education, one of the key references is the Green Comp, the European Sustainability Competence Framework that the European Commission has developed to kind of find a common definition of what does it mean to be competent in sustainability. Now, the goal of this framework is to help learners develop knowledge, skills, and attitudes to think and plan and care for our planet. And the framework entails 12 competencies organized into 4 areas, as you can see them here in this picture, in the slide. And it is designed for all ages and types of learning. So it really should be like a guideline for educators to integrate NBS practices and concepts into education, as well as for how to assess them. Now, the goals, let's say, plural, of NBS EduWORLD are several. The main goal is to create and nurture an NBS literate society, and therefore, as a consequence, to ensure free and easy access to NBS knowledge, to also NBS resources for everyone, to support innovative pedagogies by exploring real-world applications of NBS, to help build communities and to engage these communities with nature and with the environment surrounding them, and to facilitate synergies between NBS professionals and education providers. And the targets of NBS EduWORLD are several. So the project works with schools, universities, education providers, and ultimately address students, teachers, and education and researchers. It involves also NBS practitioners, as we said before, like sites and demonstrators. And it works for the society and with local authorities, with entrepreneurs and policymakers and educational authorities. Now, to have let's say, a little bit of a break from me talking, we can watch together this very short video about what is NBS education and what is NBS EduWORLD specifically meaning by NBS education and what's the work that we've been doing so far. I will play the video now.
At a time when our planet faces a growing number of environmental issues, teachers hold the key to preparing future generations for the challenges ahead, and students are eager to learn how to adapt to a rapidly changing climate. So, let's talk about solutions in the classroom. Nature-based solutions, or NBS for short, help make nature and communities more resilient to climate disruption. They use the benefits provided by ecosystems to adapt to problems such as heat waves, floods, droughts, and more. You can integrate NBS education into different subjects inside and outside the classroom. Why not discuss the way forests might help mitigate climate change in science class, or explore the role of wetlands in flood prevention in geography lessons? It is surprisingly easy to integrate NBS education into all levels of education, from kindergarten to university. By creating a school garden, for example, young children can understand how vital nature is and the role they play in it. And older students can experience the practical applications of NBS in their community through real-life projects such as restoration activities or awareness-raising campaigns. NBS EduWORLD, in line with the European Sustainability Competence Framework, provides a variety of free resources to help get you started. Visit the NBS EduWORLD website to easily access teaching and learning materials for all age groups. A sustainable tomorrow begins with education today.
Great. So I hope this was helpful to have, let's say, a more visual idea of what we are talking about. And to mention just a couple of examples of recent outputs and activities by the project, we carried out a MOOC last year, which is still available on the archive of EU and Academy. You can click on the link here on the slide if you wish to know more about the MOOC or even enroll. You won't be able to obtain a certificate or do the peer assessment activities that took place live during the MOOC, but it's still a good resource for you if you wish to enroll and just complete the course in case you want to learn more about how to integrate NBS into your teaching practice. And if you're interested in this training opportunity, you should stay tuned with the NBS EduWORLD project channels, because we're going to launch a new MOOC in January 2025. So you might have the chance to enroll in that one. And as Diego mentioned before, Scientix is running the annual initiative STEM Discovery Campaign, this year co-organized by LifeTerra. And the STEM Discovery Campaign is an initiative that aims at celebrating STEM studies and careers. You can also click on the link here on the slide to know more about it. And basically, what can you do is you can pin on an interactive map an activity related to STEM that you have carried out with your classroom. And by doing that, you might be eligible for a Scientix award. You don't need to apply for a specific award. You can just select the topic of your activity, and then our team will evaluate all entries and see if they fit with the criteria of a specific award. Then you will just get awarded. So it cannot be easier than that. We have an award supported by NBS EduWORLD called the Scientix Nature-Based Solutions in Education Award. So please feel free to explore this page and see if you might have some activities that you want to pin on the map and maybe win the Scientix Nature-Based Solution in Education Award. Now, if you wish to explore some of the resources developed by fellow teachers and get inspired about how to integrate NBS in your classroom, you can go on the nbseduworld.eu/resources webpage, which is the NBS Edu directory, so a resource repository of our project, and filter by type and select learning scenarios. So you will find many learning scenarios. Here I put 3 examples, but there are more than 30. So you can navigate through them and have a look at the activities that your fellow teachers implemented in their classroom, replicate them, and this can provide, why not, even inspirational materials if you, of course, quote them and make them, let's say, tailored to your specific needs of your educational setting and context. They might provide good content for stories of implementation, for example, that you can still pin on the map of the STEM Discovery Campaign. And in general, to get inspired about NBS education, why not? In the end, peer exchange is the best way of learning. And ultimately, there is this very useful resource in our Edu directory called the Guidelines on Implementation of Nature-Based Solutions Activities in Education for Starters, which might be very useful for educators with little to no prior knowledge on NBS, because it provides a step-by-step framework to bring NBS in any educational setting. So if you're new to this, you might want to have a look. I put a QR code if you wish to access it with another device, or you can just click on the word here and it will automatically open. So I think by now you are well equipped with a lot of resources to get inspired and start integrating NBS in your classroom. And once you will have done that, you will be able to apply for the NBS School Expertise. So let's go into our dear expertise, the focus of this webinar. Now, what is the NBS School Expertise? The expertise is, as we said by now many times, a joint initiative of NBS EduWORLD and Scientix STEM School Label. Now, as Diego explained very clearly and very well to you, the STEM School Label is a program to give your school recognition, but not only them, just to get in contact, to be part of a community of fellow teachers that are committed in STEM education, that have a strong STEM strategy. Now, this NBS School Expertise does the same, but related to a specific topic. Of course, in our case, nature-based solution. So it is complementary to the STEM School Label, meaning that you must have at least one of the 3 labels active on your STEM School Label profile in order to be able to apply for the expertise. And it is a great opportunity for your school, just as the STEM School Label, because when you obtain the expertise, your school will be featured on the NBS EduWORLD website and as well as on an interactive map displaying other NBS expert schools. And moreover, we will use your SPEs as best practice examples to inspire other educators. So lots of visibility, but also lots of connections and working with like-minded teachers that wish to improve environmental education. Now, the most complex part, but don't worry, because we will get to it very slowly and step by step. How do we apply for the NBS School Expertise? We try to make it as simple as possible for you. Please don't hesitate to put any questions in the chat if anything is unclear at any point. Now, as we said, the NBS School Expertise is complementary to the STEM School Label. So what is the first step to get the expertise? Go on the STEM School Label platforms. Sorry, I don't know why these are already here. Okay, sorry. So we go on the STEM School Label website, stemschoollabel.eu. Now, either we click on the expertise here on the top right corner, or we scroll down the page. And when we scroll down the page or we click on the expertise, we will see this. So this page will have, let's say, contains just general information about the expertise. Now, either you click on the title here or you click on the word here on the bottom right corner, the result is the same. You will just access this page. But before accessing this page, the system will ask you to log in. So if you have your credentials already, just log in into this page. And if you don't, create an account by clicking here. And then you come back to this page and repeat the process. Once you are logged in the STEM School Label platform, you can start the process for applying to the NBS School Expertise. And there are 2 possibilities. So either you already have a STEM School Label, so either you have the competent, proficient, or expert label, or you don't. So if you don't, you click here on this little word here and discover how to get it. I'm sure by now, if you attended this webinar and you've heard from Diego, you know what are the steps to get your label. But if not, just refresh your memory by clicking here. Now, if you already have one, you can proceed to apply for the expertise. And what do you need to apply for the expertise? 3 published SPEs, including NBS activities. Now, published because Diego explained to you that SPEs can be also just approved. So what we are requiring here is to have 3 published SPEs. And these SPEs need to match several criteria. Now you can check the criteria by clicking here. And once you click there, you will access this page that explains to you what are we asking from you? What are these SPEs that we will consider as valid for the expertise? The criteria are specifically 3. So your SPE need to be linked to at least one NBS School Expertise criteria that you can find by clicking here. At least one of the 12 NBS Societal Challenge area, and at least one of the 12 Green Comp competencies. Now on the website, when you click on these 3 green little sentences, you will access the full list of these criteria, challenge areas, and competencies. So don't worry, you have all the information there to guide you through the process. And once you have 3 published SPEs that match all these criteria, you can click on Apply Now here, or if you scroll down the page, you will see this page automatically, and you will just click on Apply here. It's the same thing. Now, when you click on Apply here, you will access an application form. In this application form, you need to insert the links to the 3 or more, if you wish, published SPEs that include NBS from your school's profile on the STEM School Label platform. What do we mean by this? We mean that we cannot accept any external links to, for example, a private folder or some websites that might expire. Specifically because of this, because we might not have access to them. So we might not be able to evaluate your application if we get these links. So how do you get these links from your profile on the STEM School Label platform? When you go to your school's profile on the STEM School Label platform, you will have a page that looks like this. You will have the school name, the address, the website, and the members of this school. And then you will have this thing here that says Our School Practice Evidence. When you click on that, a gallery will open. And here you will have displayed all the SPEs that you have already uploaded. They might be published, approved, or still pending. Now, when you have 3 published and that match the criteria that we are setting for the NBS School Expertise, for example, you will open one of these and you will have this page with the SPE. You can see here the status is published. Here you will have these fields already filled in, of course. We want this link here. So not the URL that you might attach to this SPE, that might be an external URL, but we want the URL from the STEM School Label schools gallery. So you just copy this link and paste it in the NBS School Expertise application form. We need at least 3 to consider your application, but if you wish to apply with more SPEs, why not? We won't say no to that. And I guess that's it from my side. I hope the process was quite clear. Do we have any questions? Is this clear? Do you want me to go back to any specific part of the application, or anything that you might want to ask us?
Yes, Chiara, I think it was clear, although we have some questions here, but I think it was for me, for my part. So if you let me answer, there is one teacher who asked in the there's one teacher who asked in the chat if the language of the evidence, of the school practice evidence, such as worksheets, if the language is important. I mean, could the description of the activities be in English, while the worksheets or the links or the files that you are attaching are in our native language? Well, so let me check the languages. As I told you at the beginning, STEM School Label started as a project with other stakeholders, and they were actually from Portugal, from France, from Serbia, from Lithuania. So that's why the only languages that we accept in the platform are this one: English, and then Portuguese, French, Serbian, and Lithuanian. So whenever you are writing the description and the title of your activity, you need to write them in any of these languages. But if then you are attaching a photograph, or you're attaching a file, a worksheet, or a link to your school website, for instance, in that case, we understand that maybe those files are in your native language, and maybe they are not in English or in one of these languages. So that's why the things that you are attaching, they can be in a different language, but the description of the activity has to be done in English or in Portuguese, French, Serbian, or Lithuanian. But I would recommend you to use English because it's easier for moderators who are evaluating the activities, and it will be easier for them to understand the activity that you are sharing. But it will be also easier to reach more teachers. In the end, your activities will remain in the platform, and we want teachers to get inspired by them. So that's why we recommend, and we are moving towards using only English in the platform. So I hope that will answer your question. I don't know, Chiara.
Thank you, Diego.
I have another question here for you.
Yep.
That it says, can I use existing SPEs, or I need to upload new ones?
Yeah, that's a frequent questions that we have received. Now, you are welcome to use any SPEs. So if you already have a STEM School Label profile and you already uploaded SPEs in the past, you are welcome to use those to apply for the expertise. But you should keep in mind that we consider SPEs that relate to activities that have been carried out during the last school year. So they should not go too much back in the past. Thank you, Diego. And there is another question I can see from the chat. If I could explain the first link to insert again. So let's do it this way. I can just go quickly through the procedure again. So we are on the STEM School Label. We click on the expertise and we log in, and we go to this main expertise page. If we don't have a STEM School Label, we learn how to get one, and we get one. And once we have it, we make sure we have 3 published SPEs respecting these criteria outlined here. When we go to apply, we click on apply here, and we will have an application form. The application form will ask you several questions, like the ID of your school, who is the contact person that we might get back to if we have any question, etc. But at some point, it will show you these questions. There are the most important. So how to give us the proof that we need to award you the expertise. So these 3 links that we need are related to the 3 SPEs that you should have published and matching all the criteria to apply for the the NBS School Expertise. Now, how do we retrieve these links? We just go to our school profile, which you can reach by going on the STEM School Label platform and going on my profile. Right, Diego? Like my school, my organization?
Yes, yeah, that's it. From
your
name, no? You click on your name on the corner, you see your profile, and then you have the...
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Diego. Sorry. So you click on your name, probably on the top right corner, should be here, and you go on your organization, and you will see this page: school name, address, members, and you will have this section here, our school practice evidence. When you click on this, you will have the gallery opening up. The gallery just means all the SPEs that you have uploaded on your STEM School Label profile. So from this gallery, you will select the SPE that you want to apply to the NBS expertise with. Once you select it, you open it. So it will look like this. It will be published, of course, because we are only asking for published SPEs. And you just need to copy paste the link, the URL of this page. So just the URL of your SPE from your school gallery. From here, just clicking on the SPE and copy pasting the link, going back to the application form, pasting it here. And you should do it at least 3 times, since we require a minimum of 3 published SPEs matching the criteria. If you have more, welcome to add more. I hope this was clear. If I didn't reply to the question, please let me know. I will clarify more.
I think it was clear for me, but also because I know the platform, but maybe the teacher can reply on the chat. Great.
Exactly. Thanks, Diego.
And then
But yeah,
another teacher was asking here if when applying for an SPE, I guess when uploading an SPE, there is a restriction on the amount of information we can give. I hope this is not a problem when assessing the NBS application. Okay, so when uploading an SPE, one of these activities, you have like a description box where you can describe the activity or the thing that you have been carrying out. This description, I don't really know if there's like a limit of the characters that you can write, but the more information you give here, the better. And the clearer information you give, the better. Otherwise, you can always, in the attachment, include maybe one of these files where you give more information. So that's the thing, like all these attachments are proving the activities that you've been carrying out and are making them easier for the rest to understand. So there are only some things that I want to mention. Number one is being careful with the data protection, like the privacy of your students, not to share with us. We are asking for pictures and we are asking for files and proof, but we respect and we encourage everyone to respect not sharing children faces, because we don't have, maybe you have their consent, but we don't. So that's why we prefer pictures or photographs or files where there are no children faces. And also when selecting the criteria that you want to address in that activity, when you select, okay, I'm doing this activity and I'm working on all these criteria, don't go too far. Don't choose, I don't know, 10, 12 criteria. Try to focus on every SPE, on every evidence that you upload. Try to focus on 4, 5 criteria. Don't go farther, because this way the description will be clear enough and will make clear how you address all that criteria, and that will definitely help to get them published. It will make them easier to be published, and then easier also for the NBS team to evaluate them and be eligible for the expertise.
Thanks, Diego. That's very useful indeed about especially children's faces and GDPR. I see a comment in the chat saying that unfortunately there is a character limit in the description field, but what you can do is maybe keep the description within the limit of that field, but also attach a file, as Diego was saying. So these URLs, let's go back to this slide. In your SPE, you will see that here there is a field called URL. This URL, we will check it as well. It's not like we don't open it. The only thing is that in the application form, you need to provide this link. But when we go on this link, we check this URL. So we read the additional information that you put there. Don't worry. So if you feel like the description field is too limited, just add any more information you wish in a separate file, and it will count towards the evaluation. So no problem. And there's no problem when assessing the NBS application if there's too much information. The important is that the SPE matches the criteria described on the web page.
Okay, also Chiara,
yes.
One question, are case studies valid to apply for the expertise?
No, short answer is no. We only accept published SPEs. And not approved, but just published. So thank you, Diego, for reminding me of this. That's a good point. Case studies are indeed very good, and we encourage you to still share them for your STEM school label. But for the NBS expertise purposes, we will only consider school practice evidence because they need to be recent enough and well documented, let's say, for us to award you the expertise.
Great. Also, in my case, in
Okay.
the case of the STEM School Label, when you
Mhm.
achieve a label, you will have it, and it will not expire until 1 year and a half after
Right, right.
it. So it would
That's,
be like
yeah.
18 months. You can keep the label for 18 months, and then reapply for it again. How is the case in the expertise? How long does it last?
That's exactly the same. So anyone obtaining the expertise will have it for 18 months. If they don't upload new SPEs matching the criteria, the expertise will expire. So you must resubmit the application form before the expiring date with new SPEs to keep your expertise active. Okay,
Okay.
I don't see any more questions in the chat, but feel free to contact us via email if you think about anything else that you didn't get a chance to ask. You can write directly to STEM School Label at eun.org, and any of us from the NBS School Expertise team will get back to you as soon as possible. And yes, if there are no other questions, I think that's it from our side.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank you.
clear.
Thank you, Diego. Your sessions were very insightful and inspiring. I hope everyone feels motivated now to go and get the STEM School Label, and complementary to it, the NBS School Expertise. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you for your attention, your participation, and your questions.
Yes. Thank
And
you,
yeah,
everyone.
thanks. Have a lovely evening.